it's Nora. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today's video is going to be a week of breakfast ideas, but make it oatmeal styled. I love oats so much, and oats are the perfect comfort food for these dark and cold times. So every day is a new oatmeal recipe. I'm showing you guys all of my favorite recipes, everything from quick oats with apples to baked oatmeal and nice cream oats. I'm so excited to show you guys all of these recipes. I'm showing you guys my absolute favorite oatmeal recipes that you guys need to try, whether you're an oatmeal enthusiast like I am and just want some new inspiration for your oats, or you aren't really into oatmeal. Oatmeal can be very bland and doesn't really taste much if you don't put in the right ingredients. So I really hope you will find some recipe inspiration in this video. If you try some of these recipes, definitely tag me or comment down below in the description box. I would love to see your recreations. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. So starting off with Monday, these are my standard apple maple oats. So first up, you just add half a cup of oats, then half a cup of milk. For the last half cup, I like to take half water and then the rest milk. Like you do with every other oatmeal, cook it on medium to high heat until it gets thick and creamy. While my oatmeal is cooking, I am preparing my toppings. So for this oatmeal, I'm topping it with apple chunks. I'm just taking off the skin on the apple and I'm chopping it into small pieces. Then once the oatmeal is finished, I'm adding some cinnamon and some maple syrup. Make sure to combine it all together, and then I'm transferring it to a bowl and adding all of my apples. And that is the first oatmeal recipe. This is so easy to make but so delicious. I love the flavor combination with the sweet and crispy apples and oatmeal, so I highly recommend making this recipe. Welcome to Tuesday's recipe. Today we're making blueberry pie oats. This is probably one of my favorite recipes. I'm probably going to say this to every recipe in this video, so I'm really sorry, but it's true. This is one of my favorite recipes. For the oatmeal, you're just going to add half a cup of oats and 1 cup of almond milk. I'm also adding 1 tablespoon of chia seeds and then some cinnamon and maple syrup. While the oatmeal is cooking, I'm heating up some frozen blueberries, and then once the blueberries are all warm, I mash them up so that it gets kind of a jammy consistency. Once the oatmeal is my desired consistency, I transfer it onto my bowl, and then for the topping, I'm adding the blueberry jam and some coconut yogurt. I'm also adding my homemade almond butter and some shredded coconut, and then I'm topping it all off with some cinnamon and honey drizzle. All of these toppings just come together so nicely and the flavor is just amazing. It truly tastes like a blueberry pie. Moving on to Wednesday, today's recipe are chocolate berry oats. So for the oats, I'm adding the same ingredients as always. Half a cup of oats, 1 cup milk, some cinnamon and maple syrup, but I'm also adding a lot of frozen berries. I love adding frozen berries to oatmeal. As you can see, the oats turn purple and the berries just melt together with the oats so nicely. So I'm transferring the oats into my coconut bowl and I'm chopping up some bananas. I'm also adding some frozen raspberries on top and my homemade hazelnut chocolate Nutella that tastes just like Nutella, but it is so healthy. These oats are perfect for a cold day when you just want to sit under a blanket and be cozy. Look at these oats. They look absolutely delicious. I'm getting hungry just by looking at all of these clips. Next up is Thursday, and it is a new day and a new oatmeal recipe. Today's recipe is raspberry jam oats. As always, I'm adding half a cup of oats and then 1 cup of milk, and I'm cooking it on high heat until it gets thick. While my oatmeal is cooking, I'm warming up a mix of different berries and adding some maple syrup. When all of the berries are warm, I am mashing them up and adding some chia seeds and letting that simmer until it gets into a thick and jam consistency. When my oats are finished cooking, I'm adding some maple syrup and cinnamon. I'm adding my oats to a bowl, and I'm adding my berry chia jam and topping it all off with my homemade almond butter. I add almond butter to pretty much all of my oatmeal recipes. It just makes the oat taste so much better, so I highly recommend making your own homemade almond butter or any nut butter of your choice. Okay, so we're moving on to Friday. Today's recipe are these berry compote chocolate oats. So into a saucepan, I'm adding half a cup of oats and 1 cup milk. While that is cooking, I'm adding 1 cup of fresh blueberries into another saucepan, and I'm adding some maple syrup. I'm warming the blueberries up until they get into this compote consistency. Once the oatmeal is finished, I'm adding some cinnamon and maple syrup as always. I'm also adding around 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. This makes the oats taste so chocolatey and delicious. I'm transferring it into my bowl and adding some coconut yogurt on top, then the berry compote on top of that. I'm also adding my almond butter. Look at that deliciousness. The chocolatey taste of the oats combined with the blueberries and the coconut yogurt. The flavors are just so delicious. So I'm just going to say it one more time. Today's recipe is my favorite. It is my absolute favorite. I love this recipe so much, and if you're going to make one of these recipes, make this one. Trust my word, it is seriously so delicious. Next up is Saturday, and today's recipe are these berry nicecream oats. This recipe is probably the most time consuming out of all of these recipes. I am adding my oats and milk and water into a saucepan and cooking it until it gets thick and creamy. I'm also adding my maple syrup and cinnamon, just like in all of the other recipes. But then while my oatmeal is cooking, I'm making a banana nicecream. I'm also adding some frozen raspberries for taste, but you can be so creative with this. You can make mango nice cream or blueberry nice cream. Once the oatmeal is finished, I'm putting it on my plate and adding some scoops of my berry nice cream. I'm also adding some bits of frozen raspberries and topping it all off with my homemade hazelnut Nutella. These are the ultimate weekend oats, and they taste so delicious. The consistency of the oats with the chocolate combined with the very cold ice cream is so delicious. Lastly, I'm showing you guys my favorite baked oatmeal recipe. These do take a little while to cook, but they are so delicious. So first up, I'm mashing half a banana and I'm adding it to the pan that I'm cooking my oatmeal in. I'm also adding the oats, almond milk, and water. I kind of eyeball the amount of oats and liquid, as you can see, because once you put in the rest of the ingredients, it will either get way too liquidy or too dry. I'm also adding some chia seeds, baking powder, cinnamon, and maple syrup, and mixing it all well together. And then lastly, I'm adding some frozen raspberries and chocolate chunks. You can add whatever kind of berries you want. Apples are really delicious, nuts are super delicious, and then of course blueberries are always the way to go. Put it in the oven on 175 Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit and cook the oats for around 20 to 30 minutes or until they are golden brown. Always let them sit and cool down for a bit. Then for the toppings, I'm adding some fresh raspberries and blueberries and then sprinkling some shredded coconut coconut, and of course adding my almond butter. So that was my baked oatmeal recipe. The melted chocolate with the berries tastes so delicious. That unfortunately marks the end of today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and found some new oatmeal inspiration. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!